Maybe issue book. Page 37. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, don't do me like that. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
So I'm super excited about this opportunity. My name is Reverend Darren Johnson. Just call me Daryl. When we start getting the titles, you start getting to expectations. My name is Darren Johnson. I'm the founder of a nonprofit called Path, an Agent of Change. It is a nonprofit that I founded through my grad program. And my methodology is called Designing for Change. How do we use UX design, design thinking, and how do we use psychology to lead people to change? What does it say right here? So how do we do that? How do we change the narrative? Next slide. That's my next slide, boys. All right, so some of the norms that we want to start during conversation. Listen actively and refrain from making judgments. Communicate to be understood. Be aware of emotional triggers. Be mindful of the relationships we have in the room and work to find common grounds. Now, I say this because a lot of this conversation is going to be very different from the norm. We've been having a conference over 2 days. I wasn't here because my flight was delayed. I'm sorry about yesterday, but I'm here today. But what we're going to talk about is being authentic to our truth, authentic to our purpose. We're going to talk about being altruistic. We're going to be talking about solving the problems that we say we're going to solve. All right, so because y'all like degrees and certifications and people in ties, that's my background. But the reason why I do what I do is my two daughters, Jessica and Nadia. They are the future. They are my future. As a dad, I want to set a legacy. And that legacy is to change the systemic problems that we have. So that's what the path is about. It's about changing systemic racism with tangible projects and using education to fix the system. So, y'all like stats. 30%, everybody say 30%.
30%.
30% of nonprofits will fail to exist after 10 years. Everybody say 50%.
50%.
50%.
50%.
Over half of all nonprofits that are chartered are destined to fail or stall within a few years due to what? Or what? So we're about to talk about some power. Now, I am unapologetically black. Okay? So I'm about to talk about black power, which is this mind that we have, and how this black power is going to make us some of the most powerful nonprofit organizations out there so that we don't have to deal with these statistics or becoming a statistic. So how do we remain socially relevant? How do we remain socially relevant? We must design programs centered on the person and not so much the problem. We must design our programs centered on the person and not so much the problem. There are a lot of organizations focused on the problem. That's why you got so much competition. There's not many organizations actually focused on the person that they serve, trying to figure out what that person that they serve, what they actually need. We make a lot of assumptions. So, I'm a psychologist. I love psychology, y'all. What is necessary to change a person is to change their awareness of themselves. When we start dealing with people, wanting to fix people who need our help, we need to lead them to understand that the change is within themselves and let them be aware of that. So how do we do it? Say, how do we do that?
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 The equation of change. I hope y'all ready to take some notes. Y'all ready for the equation of change? So, This is Darren Miller's equation of change. Now, I'm all about taking from them and using it for our purposes so we can be stronger, smarter, and better. Y'all okay with that? Okay. Darren Miller's equation of change says D times V plus Fs is greater than R equals C. D times V plus Fs greater than R equals C. Well, what does that mean? What does that mean? That means that change can be turned into a product. Oh, that's what that means. Change can be turned into a product. Y'all ready for that? Say, yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Thank you. The D stands for dissatisfaction. Now, a lot of you, all of us in this room, we got some cousins, we got some folks that's satisfied with the way their life is right now, no matter how it looks. We got to lead people to be dissatisfied with the status quo. Now, few of us don't like change. We fear it and we dislike it because change imposes on us, right? Why? Why would I get off the welfare system if I can do what I want to do, the government taking care of me, I'm straight. I ain't even got to work hard for it. Because we got to be better. That's not black excellence. That's why. So we got to lead people to understand what the dissatisfaction is in what the status quo says. So that's your D. Okay? Y'all got the D? D for dissatisfaction. All right. Vision. A lot of us have written visions for our nonprofit organizations, right? Now let's be honest. Let's be authentic. How many of us came up with a vision on our own? Everyone should have came up with a vision on your own, right? Now, I want us to tailor our vision. You got your vision, but let's talk about how the vision fits them and how you would like them to be in the future. We have a vision to end homelessness, but the vision doesn't include the person and how it ends homelessness for them. Y'all get what I'm saying? Y'all good? So vision. First steps. How do you climb Mount Everest?
One step at a time.
Step at a time. And you climb, right? But as you're climbing it, let me take a step back. Before you see Mount Everest, you may see it from 10 miles and it's this little pebble, right? But then you start getting closer and Mount Everest start getting bigger, right? And as it gets bigger, it's like, oh, it gets more intimidating, right? So people are afraid to change because the closer you get to change, the more intimidating it gets. Oh, okay. So now I got to climb to get to this change. But as I'm climbing, I can't breathe because one, I'm fat, I'm tired. But two, the higher you get in altitude, the less air it is, right? Okay, so how do I climb this mountain? We have to give people concrete steps that they can take towards whatever the vision that includes them. Y'all okay with that? Yes. So you got the FS? Yes. All right, let's go. Okay. The R stands for what? Woo. So we talk about dissatisfaction, but we're not talking about resistance. What is preventing change from occurring? It can also be that we are in our comfort zone and are resisting to go beyond it. So, what these really smart, intelligent people came up with what?
But we're resisting the change. The clicker's resisting the change.
It sure is. There it goes. The weight of D for what? Dissatisfaction. V for what? FS for what? Must be greater than the weight of resistance. Now, I know this might sound confusing, but I'm going to teach you how you get all that you need to make this happen. Are y'all ready for that?
Yes.
Purpose.
Ooh, wait. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Y'all Y'all ready? Okay. What is it? Designing. The first step to designing for change is to empathize with your audience. How can you understand what dissatisfaction, satisfaction is, what resistance there are, how your vision works, what first step they can take without empathizing with your audience? So now we're getting into design thinking. Everybody say design thinking.
Design thinking with the
Design
actions.
thinking. Melinda Gates. Design dignifies. It exists not for itself, but for whom it what? Serve. And what do you have a nonprofit do? Serve. Okay, all right. It honors its users, who they are, where they are coming from, what they want to achieve. It proves that their preferences are important and that their voices have been what? Heard. Now, what's been one big issue for the African American community in America? Our voices not being what? Heard. Oh, okay. All right. Great design starts with listening, and the product it produces is change. See, I know the quote, so I can finish it for y'all. It's not up there, but I know that's what it says. So, Melinda Gates, who's that? Ooh, and how much money they got? Okay.
Ex-wife.
Do we want some Bill Gates money?
Sweet, you take some divorce money.
So, I'm about to get you to understand the difference between sympathy versus empathy. A lot of our nonprofits sympathize with people. We sympathize with people's problems. That's why you sit there with your camera phone in your faces, recording them as you're walking by, talking about, oh wow, look at all the people that we're helping in their face. But there's a difference between sympathy and empathy. Once we move to empathy, that ain't gonna happen no more. Once you learn design thinking, once you learn Darren Miller's equation of change, you'll start getting grants from the NSF. You're not going to start getting these low budget grants. You're going to start getting real grants because you're scientific with your methodologies. You're strategic with your methodologies. You have power in your grant writing. It's not, I just want to help homeless people. No, I want to help homeless people by understanding what their problems are and fixing their specific issues by doing this. And I have Todd, the homeless guy, who's here to say, hey, I know that this nonprofit can do that. Okay, all right, let's go. Y'all ready? Okay, I'll just make sure you're with me. You know? Whoa, what does that say? Q focus. Q focus is real important. It's from the Right Question Institute. Right Question Institute gets you to start asking questions. We don't ask enough questions. We just do. We trend. Let's start asking questions. A picture speaks 1,000 assumptions. I'm going to stop my guy. Okay, a picture speaks 1,000 assumptions. Perfect. So, real quick, can I get a 30-second, I want an expository, a 30-second explanation of what this picture tells you? Raise your hand. Tired?
He's on his lunch break.
He's on his lunch break? Okay, what else?
Took mine.
He's relaxing? He's thinking? He's sleeping?
He just got in an argument with his wife.
Now, I'm about to get all of y'all right now. I'm about to get all of y'all. There's a certain thing called implicit and explicit bias. Now, because it's a white man sitting on the bench, we automatically assume that he's resting on his lunch break. He could very well be a homeless man that just so happened to have this on, and that's his meal that he just got from the little, what's they called? Food handout people. That's who he could be, but we made an assumption. Now, I'm not saying that to offend you. I'm saying that because we do a lot of assuming with his mind. And a lot of it is implicit. If he didn't have a tie on like me, and it looked like something else, you would assume that he was homeless. Right? Okay, let's work on it. Let's get it. Y'all ready to get it? All right, come on. Come on. Come on. Boom, how can we stop doing that? That's my excitement dance right there. Sorry, I do that a lot. Empathize by what? Woo! Empathize by what? We have to immerse ourselves into the real world. Stop looking at things from the outside. Start looking at it from within. Get to know your population. Understand the context. Uncover needs. And Listen to feedback. Listen for feedback. That's what it says. See, I memorized this because I made it. Listen for feedback. Get to know your population. I'm not saying sit there and kiss and hug homeless people. I'm not saying that. But sit down and have a conversation. Find out how they got there. What they need to get out. Okay, y'all ready? Y'all want to try this again? She's falling asleep. So, some questions to ask the person. Look at the center. What is it? The person. So, now we're talking about a word called human centricity. Everybody say human centricity. Do it with the hand. Human centricity. All right, human centricity. What the person says, what the person thinks, what the person feels, and what the person what? No. Okay. You want to be a powerful nonprofit that fixes people's issues? Start answering these questions. You want to be a powerful leader with powerful employees? Start answering these questions for them. You see how this works in everything? Yeah. Oh, okay. You want your employees to love you to death and be loyal to your program and continue to work, start seeing what they say, what they think, what they feel, and what they do. I assure you, it's going to be a different result. So let's try this again. Q&T time. What questions can we ask this man?
Not one.
Are you tired?
Are you tired? What'd you say?
I said not one because he don't want to be bothered.
Right. Yeah, for the sake of the slide, though. What questions can we ask this man?
Are you okay?
Are you okay? What's going on, buddy? He might get up and say, hey, I'm homeless. I really just need some help. Or you might say, hey, I'm on my lunch break. You see how you start asking questions and assuming things? How you can start getting to the root of the real issue and start fixing real problems? Y'all cool with that? Yeah. Ooh, I finished in my time. So, if you want to take a picture of that, I like to smile a lot. That's what I'm sorry. Yeah. So,
What your pictures look like, though.
So, my email, and here you go, Miss, what's your name? Miss Wilson, all right? Email, info@ifyouwontiwill.com. My website is also ifyouwontiwill.com. Oh, I'm done? Okay, you want to know what that means? Y'all want to know what that means for real, for real? I'm about to get love on you. You ready? Listen, I got tired of black politicians. I got tired of black businesses getting voted into office, getting all the money and all the funding, and not fixing our problems. I got tired of sitting around in seminars with people. Basically, I got tired of us being the problem solvers and not solving the problem. So if you want, I will. Bam! Hey, you see that? Bam! If you want, I will. All right, so you can find me on Facebook at The Path and Agent of Change. The Path and Agent of Change. Okay, do I have time for questions?